Well, hello there. This is D, and welcome to Uneven. Some of you have listened to the Benzo Free podcast I just posted, episode 136, and that might have been what sent you over to this one, so you kind of know the primary content of this. Let me do just a minute or two, I promise to keep this small, to catch you up in case you don't listen to that one. This is for people who might not have heard. Sorry I've been offline for a while. I've been working hard on this new community, and that's what we're going to be talking about on this episode mostly today. But that's where I've been spending a lot of my time. How am I doing? Good question. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I'm doing so much better. I'm doing really well right now. I've never felt this, not never. I haven't felt this positive in months. My nerve pain has mostly subsided. I would say it's 80% gone, 90% gone. I'm doing much better. I'm healthier. I'm eating better. I'm just doing a lot of things better. And my symptoms, I'm in a window, and I love those windows of symptoms. So if you're familiar with my benzo struggles from the other podcast, I'm doing much better. And with that, psychologically, anxiety, everything else has eased some. Yeah, I still have symptoms, of course, from benzos, and I still have struggles, and I know I'm going to have problems. And a lot of this podcast has been negative lately, and I don't want it always to be that way. So here I am, more positive, feeling good, and enjoying life, and enjoying what I'm working on, and enjoying the passion behind it. So thanks for joining me. Anyway, I want to catch you all up on where we're at. And I want to talk about what I've been working on. And I'm not going to spend much more time here. If you want to know a little more about where I've been lately and how things are doing, check out the Benzo Free podcast, episode 136, the one I just released. And then I talk more into how I'm doing and being positive and all that sort of stuff, okay? And that's more on the benzo side because that was a benzo symptom, the whole nerve pain and everything. So I'm talking more there about how I started to feel better. Over here, I talk more about life and anxiety. And because our new community is going to be labeled uneven, this is the place for me to start to introduce it. So, hello, how you doing? I'm glad to have you join me. Let's talk about this, okay? For the last month and a half or so, I have been committed pretty much to setting up this new community, working on the software and getting it all. And let me tell you a couple things. I've talked about this before, but never have I taken the step I just took. I just took a step of signing up for a year of this high-end membership networking software. It's called Mighty Networks. Some of you may be familiar with it. Some of you have used it, or some of you may be a member on a site that uses it. I had done a lot of research on a lot of different places, looked at so many different options for this. I can rattle off like 7 or 8 or 9 of them right now. But I settled on this one because this one I felt had 2 primary things. One, it is incredibly robust, and 2, incredibly simple. I wanted a very simple, easy to learn interface so people could just sign on and it's not too hard to figure things out and get around. It's clean, it's streamlined, it's simple, and this site is that. And 2, I wanted it to be robust. I wanted it to do all the things we wanted to do, but in this simple environment. Not an easy thing to do. I believe Mighty Networks has done that. Even though this is a pricier one of those things I can sign on, one of those membership networks to sign on for, I think it's worth it. This will be a paid membership site coming up, but it's not right now. And I'm going to talk about a few things. So I'll get into scheduling. I'm going to get into that part. No, let me tell you up front, and then I'll remind you at the end because I don't want to miss this. So here's the deal. I bought the software. I've been in it now for almost a month, kind of setting it up. I'm going to bring on some more people as what I'm calling our guides that are going to help me moderate and run it. Hopefully going to do that over the next month or so. And then on October 1st, which is only a couple of weeks away, October 1st, we go live public. Now, this is going to be very basic. There's not going to be a lot there right now, although there'll be some things, because October 1st through December 31st is build out. Okay? And here's my concept on this. The reason is this is our site. Our site. I'm talking to you. It's our community, okay? I want your input. And so here's the opportunity is between October 1st and December 31st, you can sign on. And for that whole period right now, this site is completely free. We will not going to start charging anybody for anything until January 1st, 2025. Okay? Don't even need a credit card. You can just sign on, get your account, all that stuff, totally free. No, it's not going to be one of those things that suddenly on January 1st, your membership turns to being charged. I'm not even asking for your credit card yet. I'm sorry. I know that's a good business practice for some people, but I am not about that, okay? I don't like it when people are tricked into paying for things. I hate it when they do that to me, and I don't want to do that to you. Starting January 1st, our plans will then become paid, and you can sign on at that point if you want to, okay? But until then, everything's free. This will become a paid site. I'll explain why here in just a little bit, but it will become a paid site because that's the only way we can really make it work and grow. We need to have some revenue to pay for our costs and our expenses. This software is not cheap. I pay every month a chunk of change to maintain it, and that's going to grow. So, and then all the other stuff, all my other expenses, which are pretty large each month, just to keep all this happening. Anyway, so October 1st. Okay, I'm going to send out an email to our emailing list. I will send out a blog post. I will put it on our website. I'm going to talk about it in the podcast. But October 1st is when you can sign on as what I call a founding member. Okay, I'm going to inviting, so anybody who signs on between October 1st of 2024 and December 31st of 2024 will be considered a founding member of this community. And this community will be called Uneven. It is the Uneven community. I decided to stick with that name. That name was available. I grabbed it. We are Uneven. We are Uneven, a community, however you want to call it. But we are online, a community called Uneven. Okay? And so you can sign on and you will be a founding member. You will get some perks because you joined us at this point. You will get discounted membership starting January 1st. That would be nice. And all these other things. Okay, so I'm hoping you'll sign on and join us, and you'll be part of the whole system. The primary benefit, two big benefits of being part of this starting October 1st and anytime in the next 3 months. Number one, it's going to be small. Okay, I know we don't have that reach yet. Even though I'm going to start promoting this, there's not a lot of you out there hearing this. Not all of you will sign on, and some of you will, but it might start out to where there'll be 10 people, and then maybe 40 or 50, and maybe we'll get to 100 by the end of the year or something, but it's going to be a small community to start. Two great benefits there. One, you get a lot more attention. Okay, I'm going to be online. This is where I'm going to spend most of my time. Most of my time will be spent here in this community. So access to us, to the guides that are helping you out, this is where you can hang out with us. And especially early on, we're going to be smaller. And that's that kind of access. And two, you have a say in this community. That's why this is your community. So you're going to help us build this out. You're going to help us create this. And for those who are guides, who want to actually help run things, of course, the site will be free. Okay. And but we'll be reaching out to those people and pulling those in. I've made so many good friends and reached so many people that I've talked along the way. And we'll be reaching out to the people to pull in guides, and we'll pull in more guides as we need to. And here's one of the nice things. If you're on this site or you've been working with me for some time or whatever, those are the people I'm looking to be guides on here eventually. And once we start charging for this site, yes, some of that money's starting somewhere within 2025 will be going back to reimburse people who are helping us out as guides. I want to create an environment where people who have been harmed by benzos, people who have been harmed by anxiety or panic attacks, people who are really struggling with life, can use their knowledge they've learned, can use that peer experience they've done by helping others, by going through it themselves, by understanding it, and become a lived, experienced guide. I want to create that environment, and that's where this is going to happen. So you can come up and become one of those guides. That's exciting. I'm pumped about this. I really am. Okay. So backing up to it, that's the schedule. It's going on live for anybody that wants to sign in as a public starting October 1st. Look for that. You'll get a link and you'll be able to go to it. And for the next 3 months straight, this is entirely free, no credit card, no nothing, okay? If January 1st, you decided you like what you see and you want to stay online, at that point then, you can sign up for a plan and you're there, okay? That's how this is going to lay out, and I think that's going to be good. Okay, that's the first part of this. All right, let's talk a little bit. Sorry, I'm readjusting my chair here, getting comfortable as I talk. All right, let's talk a little bit about this network. I'm going to tell you a few more things about this, and then I'll get offline here and let you go. But I just want to, because I'm building this up. Okay, I'm excited about that. I've been working on this for a while lately, so you can tell the juices are flowing. And let me just, I'm gonna weave in just one little anecdote. Okay, maybe that's not the right word, but I'm going with anecdote. And that is getting busy, having passion. I tell you, I mean, even when you have symptoms like I do from benzodiazepines, even when you have severe anxiety that feels like it's crippling you, even when you don't know where the next panic attack is coming from, even when, you have your marriage just ended after 20 years and you lost access to the kids, and your mother doesn't want to see you anymore, your mother-in-law just passed away, or what, and all these negative things happen to you. Even when all that's going on, there are things you can do to help lift your spirits. I mentioned on the last Benzo Free podcast about finding that positive, celebrating the good things as they happen. What I want to mention here is having that project, having that thing to keep you busy, that passion, something to focus on so you're not 24/7 mired in your own misery. Maybe you look at it as a distraction, but I look at it as something more than that. It's not just a distraction. Distraction is sitting in front of the, YouTube or your TV or whatever and just glued to, social media all the time and just vegging out with no productivity. I'm talking about something you can put your energy into that you're creating, or maybe being part of a community or something. And for me, lately, it's been creating this. And it's been giving me passion. It's giving me something to look forward each day. It's giving me something to work on each day because I can envision what this could be. And I am pumped about that. I am pumped about that. So that's coming. So I just wanted to take that quick tangent and mention that to you. So we're building this on a membership software called Mighty Networks. Some of you might know what that is. Some of you might have experience. I know there's a lot of other players out there, so many out there. I could list names and stuff, but I'm not going to. I evaluated tons of them, read lots of articles, tried things out, and I decided this is the best fit for what we're doing. I mentioned on the Benzo Free podcast just briefly that what I liked the simplicity of what we can create here, so it's really easy to join and belong and know how to use it. This is not a complicated site, okay? This one, I honestly believe that in a 5-minute video, which I will record one once we get everything kind of up and rolling and stuff, in a 5-minute video, I can walk you through and you will know 90% of what you need to know of how to work it. Okay, it's that simple. I'm actually just suddenly writing down, my brain. My brain is not always 100%, so I have to write down little notes sometimes so I don't forget to talk to you about that. So I wrote a note down to not forget to talk to you about that. So this is that platform. This platform is easy. What's also nice is not only is it web, it has its app. So there is a Mighty Networks app. It's on the phone. It's on iPhone. It's on Android. You can find it. It's got an iPad. It's got a tablet one, an iPad. So you can download that, log into our network, and you have access to it from your mobile device, from your computer, from wherever you want it. Okay? So, And you can get reminders if you want to stay more social, or you can turn off reminders. You have total control over your notifications, how you get notified, where you get notified. If you don't want to get emails when new things pop up, you don't have to. If you only want to get emails or badges or alerts when somebody is talking on just anxiety, you can do that. So this is the kind of stuff we can set up. So anyway, so that's the platform we're going to build on. And as soon as it's up and running on October 1st, we'll let you know, and you can go log in and you can check us out. For those, I want to talk about really quickly, for those people that have signed in for us over at Wix, okay? And Wix, I mean at easinganxiety.com. So our website, easinganxiety.com, is built on Wix platform, okay? Wix is the software we use for that. And my intention always was to build the network there, okay? But there's one caveat I always have had since for the last 2 years on the podcast, on our website, on our community. And that is, I need to simplify this as much as possible and focus more on content and communication. Those are the two keys, content and communication, and a lot less on administrative and technology, okay? Because that's where I want to be. I want to be there with you. And unfortunately, even Wix, which was much easier than WordPress, which I used to have my site on, it still was complicated and was going to take me a lot of time to set that up and do what I wanted to. Whereas over here on this software, Mighty Networks, they already built most of that in. I just kind of signed up. I might not quite have the flexibility I had over there, but I have far more built-in robust features, and I can learn it so much faster and get it up to speed so much faster. So all those people who logged in over on our Easing Anxiety site, thank you so much. I love it. We'll reach out to you directly there too and say, by the way, here's where the site is. Just click on this link. You can sign up there right now. Great. Okay. And we'll have something for you. Okay. We'll talk to you about that as we do that. Anyway, so in case you've already logged in online, don't worry about it. We're going to go over here, but this is where we're going to stay and this is where we're going to be. And you can spend 10 minutes, create a profile page, pull up a picture, you write a 1-sentence mini bio, and then you write a 1-paragraph full bio, and maybe link into your social medias if you want to throw those on there. You're done. 10 minutes, you got a profile, and you are online and ready to go. We'll have a welcome checklist that you go through as soon as you log in. It'll say, hey, you might want to try these 3 things, check them off so it gets you on board. That will grow, of course, as we grow the site. There's just so much going on. I'm really excited about it anyway. So I keep rambling because I love this. It's fun. So what will be in it? What will be in it? So I want to talk about that really briefly. Even though we're calling this the Uneven Community, and the Uneven Podcast is more on life and anxiety, whereas the Benzo Free Podcast is more on benzos, this still will have a whole section dedicated to benzos too, okay? But that's what's great about it, is Mighty Networks is built around what they call spaces, and spaces are basically subgroups within the community. Just so you know, we're going to have what I call core spaces, and then we'll also have like topic spaces or interest spaces. I haven't figured out what I'm calling that collection yet. And we have community spaces. Those 3 things, community, core, and topic spaces. Your community spaces are the spaces for everybody. Everybody automatically belongs to them. There's a welcome page. There's our guidelines, our principles, the information that's about the site as a whole. That's where you find the community information. The next one down is core spaces. These are your core interest spaces. There's one already built on anxiety. I've already built one on benzos. Those are the 2 primary ones I'm starting out with. Below that will be topic spaces, and these are the ones that will grow more rapidly. We can have spaces on anything we want to talk about. Maybe there's going to be a men's space, and maybe there'll be a women's space. Maybe there'll be a space dedicated to youth and a space dedicated to people who are older. There might be a space dedicated to people who are Chiefs fans. They won't get that particular, but maybe. No, just kidding. It's football day. So those are the spaces, and those will grow, and we'll figure those out over the next 3 months as we build this out, and we're doing that now. That's where your input's going to be helpful. And we are going to be adding to this things like this: live events, video events. We're going to be adding courses. It's pretty cool. I'm going to have office hours. Yes, I'm going to have office hours on here where I'm online from this time to this time each day. Come and chat with me. We're going to have that. Some of that will be just chat room. Some of it will be live on video. You get a lot of privacy. And that's one thing I do want to mention about this is is the privacy. One of the reasons we selected this software is simply this. I think most of us are pretty annoyed by ads. Most of us are on public sites like Facebook, X, everything else, Instagram. Most of us are pretty annoyed by bots or trolls. Whether there's all inundated by all this negativity and trolls coming in, and sometimes those are bots and sometimes those are real people. We don't know the difference. Those are kept out mostly. Okay, this is the benefit of this. So we get to really control this environment. I'm not saying control like I want to over control it. I'm saying I want to control it so we can try to keep this benevolent, okay, and beneficial to the people who have come to the site for what we're trying to do. And we have guidelines set for that. And we can remove people from the platform if they're not following the guidelines. We have that right. It's a private site, okay? So we can do that. But also your data that's coming in here, it's not going to be sold, okay? As the owner of Uneven, I can tell you right now, we will not sell your data, okay? So anything you're communicating on here, anything you're talking about, posting, whatever, I'm not going to sell that data off to another company. I won't do that. That's not why I'm here. I've been doing this podcast, this site, this work, this research now mostly for free for the last 5 years. So if you think I'm only driven by money, you probably got that wrong. Okay, I'm not a very good businessman. But that does bring me to, that's one of the reasons why this is on a private site, is I wanted to avoid that. So no advertisements. There's no advertisements on here. I mean, people can promote an event, but even that we're going to restrict. But, we'll have a way to filter that if you want to promote an event that's related to the people on our site. But no ads popping in, no pop-ups, and none of that stuff. Moving on as we grow. So the for pay. So the for pay is strictly because, number one, I got to find some way to monetize what I've been doing for the last 6 or 7 years. Okay. Number two, I got to cover my expenses. I can't keep doing this. Now, some of you have donated in the past, and you have been amazing donating to Easing Anxiety. I'm so grateful for you and that. But that just barely has covered expenses for certain months, but doesn't really, I've never received income from the work I'm doing. No income coming down. I've gotten some income from other work I've done, creating a peer training class elsewhere, and sometimes teaching, but that's been it. And even that doesn't offset my expenses. So I have never made money doing what I am doing. I'm not a good business person. Remember, October 1st is when you can sign on to us as when we become public, and you can sign on. We hope to see you online. I'm going to be building this out. When you sign in, it's still a skeleton. It's basic. I got to add some graphics. I got to add pictures. I got to add some more events. There's tons I have to add, but that's what the next 3 months are for. October 1st through December 31st. Think of that as our construction stage. Okay. Right now I'm developing the blueprints. The blueprints are being developed, and they're going to be finished by the end of September. Starting at October 1st, we start building. And for 3 straight months, we're building the Uneven community. And I really hope you'll join us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this pitch. I know that's all this has been a sales pitch. I know that. But I don't feel like I'm selling something here. I feel like I'm building something with you. And the only reason we're asking for you to pay for some of your time on here is because, starting next year. But the only reason we're doing that is so that we can make this really work. We can put money back into it. We can build it. We can have people work for us. And we can turn this into what I believe it can become, which is a force for good, for helping people who are having difficulties with life, anxiety, and or benzos. So that's who we are. That's who we are. I hope you'll check us out. Thank you so much for listening, and please have a good day. Hey, this is Dee. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out our podcast. I do need to remind everyone that this podcast is for informational purposes only and should never be considered medical, psychological, or professional health advice of any kind. If you or someone you know is dealing with significant mental health issues, please seek professional help. Resources can be found in our show notes and on our website at unevenpodcast.com. Take care of yourself. and I'll catch you on the flip side.